There's a lot of information on a label that you really don't have to look at. So if you find yourself spending hours in the grocery store looking at labels, hopefully I'll have some good news for you in that there's a few quick things that you can look at, and it will save you time when you're shopping too.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
The very first thing you should look at on a label is the serving size. Okay?
Okay.
What do you normally look at first?
I look at the fat
Okay.
and the fiber.
Okay. And those are good things to look at, but before you look at anything, look at that serving size,
Right.
okay? So here on our food, we see that the serving size is
1 cup.
1 cup, right?
Yes.
So let's say this were cereal. Now, do you think that you eat just 1 cup of cereal?
No, 2 cups
Okay.
at least.
If you eat twice as much, everything else here doubles on that label. That means you're getting twice as much carbohydrate, twice as much fat, fiber, and so forth. So always know what the serving size is, and then you can gauge it. If you eat half as much or 3 times as much, you can do that multiplication, okay?
Yeah, I've never done that.
Okay.
I just pour how much
just
I
pour
think
it
I'm
in,
gonna eat, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Most importantly for you, watch out for that saturated and trans fat, because that directly affects your cholesterol level. Foods that have no more than 1 gram of saturated fat are considered good choices. They're low in saturated fat. The other thing to look out for is to try to pick foods with 0 grams of trans fat. Have you heard of trans fat
I've
before?
heard of it, but I
Okay.
have no idea.
Trans fat is sort of a man-made fat that companies use, and it acts like saturated fat in the body. Actually, it's even a little bit worse. It can raise your LDL or your bad cholesterol level.
So
A lot of
trans fat is bad.
It's bad. Think of saturated and trans as the bad guys.
Okay. And
Okay.
trans even worse.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So look for
That
0
clears it up.
trans, look for low saturated fat, and you're all set. One thing I want to point out with both sugar and dietary fiber is that they're both under the total carbohydrate information here. What that means is that sugar and fiber are included in the total carbohydrate amount. Really all you need to worry about or pay attention to is the total carbohydrate on a label. You don't need to worry about the sugar. And I think it's great that you're looking at fiber, because the more fiber you get, the better.
Yes.
But for your blood sugar control, it's the total carbohydrate. That's the number to look at on a label. If you only have 20 seconds to look at a food label, what I'd recommend is that you look at the serving size first.
Right.
Maybe check out the fat or the saturated fat at the very least, and go right to the total carbohydrate,
Carbohydrates.
okay? And just remember, always keep in your mind, 1 carb serving is 15 grams. So when you see 30 grams, you know that that's 2 carb servings. Okay, if you're seeing 45 grams, that would be 3, and so forth. Tiny bit of math, but it actually gets pretty easy as you go on.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I got that.
Good.